Hello, I'm Sister Helen Warman, and I'm a daughter of Our Lady of the Sacred Heart who has worked in Papua New Guinea for 60 years. The story I'm going to tell today goes right back to the beginning of those years. I was working in Dio, a station right in Milne Bay, and a sister came from Port Moresby to work with us. She had lived in Moresby for a long time, and each time a big ship came into the wharf, she was close enough to take her children down to the wharf to go onto these big ships, liners, tourist ships, navy ships, and inspect them. So when she came to Milne Bay, she asked the children in her class one day, "What's the biggest boat you've ever seen?" And they said, "Oh, sister, Morning Star." Morning Star was just the cargo ship that brought our cargo and took the students backwards and forwards to their islands for school and for holidays. So she was quite disgusted that that was the biggest ship they'd ever seen. She came over and she said, "I'm going to write a letter to the Admiralty of the Fleet and ask them to send a proper ship to Milne Bay, because Milne Bay was a very important place in the Second World War." But that week, the mail ship arrived, just a little boat, the Stella Maris. So the mail came off, we opened it up and shared out the letters, and there was one for the head sister of the school. We opened that and it said, "The Admiralty of the Fleet wanted us to know that the Voyager, HMAS Voyager, was returning from exercises in Japan, and on its way home to Australia, it would call into Milne Bay." We were so excited. So we waited until the day came. When the day came, everybody was up very early. We were all sitting down on the beach by 4 o'clock in the morning, waiting for that ship to arrive. Then in the darkness, this great big city, floating city, came round the corner from East Cape into Milne Bay towards us. The children couldn't believe their eyes. They'd never seen so many lights in their life before. So we sat there and waited. Father came over and said, "Anybody coming to Mass?" I said, "Father, I'll come, but the children can stay here." Nobody was going to move. So afterwards they began moving one by one just to have their breakfast and to get dressed. The boys just had green shorts, that was their uniform, and the girls a green pleated skirt. So after breakfast we sat and waited. The Voyager came in and stopped right at our front door. Barges came out onto the beach, and the children loaded on and were taken out to the Voyager. Then came the difficult task of climbing up the side of the boat on these rope ladders to get on board. So they went up, and then Sister Mary Joseph and I went up. We had a lovely time. The officers showed us round the boat, while the children did all sorts of things. They fired ack guns, they fired torpedoes, they put flares into the sky, and we raced up Milne Bay. A journey that usually took us 4 hours took us less than an hour to get up to the main station. Then we turned round and came back. Then it was getting quite late, ready to leave. An officer came and said, "Sister, we have a problem." My heart nearly stopped. What had happened? Had somebody broken something? Had something been stolen? "Oh, no," he said, we have a souvenir to give to the children." "Oh," I said, "they'll be so happy to get a souvenir." "What's the souvenir?" He said, "Sister, it's a tie pin." A tie pin? What are they going to do with a tie pin? I said, "Oh, don't worry. They can stick it in the band of their trousers or the band of their skirt. They'll keep that tie pin." So they all got their souvenir. They all climbed down that ladder and we came off that boat. But nobody ever forgot the Voyager. Nobody ever forgot that Voyager. It was a time that they would remember for the rest of their lives. I remember later when there was an accident and the Voyager was destroyed, they cried, "Sister, they've killed our ship. They've killed our ship." It was a real experience, part of their life forever. Thank you.